Welcome. This is ToGather. I'm glad you joined me. I'm Ware. I edit and write verseoftheday.com, and I'm glad to have you join us. This is our focus ministry called ToGather. And our verse of the day: for the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. And our theme is waiting in eager expectation. The best way I know to get us into this subject is to talk about the eager expectation that parents feel. I remember now in 1980, in the early days of June, my wife Donna was due to deliver our first child, a little boy. And the first week of June passed, still no little boy. We were waiting in eager expectation. The second week of June passed, still no little boy. We were waiting in eager expectation. The third week of June passed, and we were waiting in eager expectation, but my wife was waiting also in great, miserable, uncomfortable, difficult, sleeping, breathing, moving. Finally, on June 28th, our eager expectation was changed into the joy of seeing our firstborn child. When we are expecting a child, whether it's by birth and having someone place that child in our hands, or whether it's through adoption, especially a child that's a little older, that they've been waiting to be brought into a family, and a family is waiting for a child, and the eager expectation until all the legalities are done and the child is made a part of the forever family, or whether it's bringing a child into the family by adoption, where they're received at birth and they grow and mature in the family. All of those are times of eager expectation. Paul uses that image and the image of a mother waiting to deliver and see her child to talk about what creation and our world is going through when he says, for the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. And the reason why creation stands on tiptoe to see the day when we're revealed as God's children and adopted fully into God's family is because our world is permanently fractured. We see it in terrorism and wars. We see it in the fires that have ravaged the western United States and Australia. We see it in the hurricanes that batter the coast of our major continents. We see it permanently fractured in the earthquakes that have destroyed cities and towns and lives and family. And we see it permanently fractured with the destruction of the beauty of our universe. I remember going to Alaska many years ago and sitting at the foot of a glacier as a beautiful light blue water drained from the bottom of that glacier. And then going back 20 years later, 10 years ago, and seeing that the glacier had receded a mile from where it originally was. Our world is in decay because it's permanently fractured until that permanent is not forever, because only God is forever. And he has destined a day when the permanent fracturing of our world that came from the fall and the sin of men and women is healed. And that day is the day we are revealed as God's beloved, adopted children. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. What does that mean? Paul further explains in Romans 8:22 and 23. We know the whole creation has been groaning, as in the pains of childbirth, right up to this present time. Not only so, but we ourselves who have the first fruits of the Spirit groan inwardly as we wait eagerly for our adoption, the redemption of our bodies. You see, while we are amazing in our differences and our abilities and our intellect, and the human body is intricately designed and is an incredible functioning system, God has something better in store for us. Not only will we have the beauty of our physical creation, which Paul compares to the seed, but we'll have an immortal body when Jesus returns and we're changed to be like him. And we'll be adopted fully into God's family, and we'll see Jesus as he is, and we'll be like him, 1 John 3, verses 1 through 3 says. And in that moment, when we're revealed as the children of God, the earth will be healed. We'll receive a new heavens and a new earth, and God's glory will be there. And we will share in the direct presence of the Almighty with the host of heavens and the glory of God surrounding us, engulfing us. And he'll wipe each tear from our eyes, and he'll welcome us as his beloved children into our forever family. Peter says it this way: in keeping with God's promise, we are looking forward to a new heaven and a new earth where righteousness dwells. John in his Revelation says, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea to divide us from the very presence of God." I don't know about you, but I think it's fascinating that as much as we may yearn to be with Jesus, as much as we yearn to have our heavenly bodies, as much as we yearn to have reunion with those who have gone to the Father before us, creation yearns and groans and waits on tiptoe for us to be revealed as the fully adopted children of God. And in that day, we will share in the glory of God forever. So when our Creator paints a majestic sunrise and you see the day turn on with the glint of sunlight on the eastern horizon, and the colors in the clouds, and the reflection on the waters, and the rustling of the morning breeze in the trees, remember, it's creation's song. Jesus is coming. We will be healed. And we can't wait for the children of God to be revealed. You see, as magnificent as our universe is, it still longs for us to be fully adopted into the presence of God and revealed so that it can be healed. God has a plan. This world isn't perfect, but it prepares us for the next. So if you've been broken by the brokenness of our world, don't give up. Just recognize that creation waits with you for the perfection that is to come. Until next week, or in case the Lord comes between now and then, may you keep the faith and stand on tiptoe with all of creation and wait for that glorious day. God bless.